Every boxing fan knows about the bad blood between Canelo and Golovkin. They literally have the rivalry of the century, considered to be one of the fiercest in modern-day boxing. And this time, the pair will go toe-to-toe for the last time after 5 long years to complete their highly anticipated trilogy. The 12-round super middleweight title clash will be held on September 17th at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. Will Canelo be able to defend his undisputed title against the Kazakh King? In this video, we're going to take a look at the two world champions and predict who will win the final battle, Canelo versus Triple G 3. So, without any further ado, let's get started. Background. Back in 2017 and 2018, Canelo and Triple G clashed for the world champion title, and to say that the results of the fight were anticlimactic would be an understatement of the century. The first fight was ruled a draw before Canelo took the second, so it left many Triple G loyalists craving more action and vengeance. So there is absolutely no doubt that this time will be the hottest ticket in the sport when Canelo and Triple G dance for the third and decisive time. Over the past 5 years, Golovkin's career has been defined by one strong opponent, Canelo Alverez. Since 2018, fans have been talking about the possibility of the two rivals squaring off for a long time. Similarly, Triple G is also hell-bent on proving that he's still got what it takes to be a world-class boxer at the highest level. This time, the veteran is set on finally beating his greatest rival, and he opened up about their trilogy fight and what a win would mean for his legacy in the ring. Quote, "It would be the biggest win in my career. It would be the best thing that happened. That would be very fulfilling." On the other hand, Canelo stated, quote, "I feel very happy and proud to be able to give the best fights, and this fight won't be an exception." So yeah, this is definitely going to be an epic battle that'll go down in sports history. Both fighters are pumped and ready to face off one last time on September 17th at the T-Mobile Arena with the WBA Super, WBC, IBF, WBO, and the Ring Super Middleweight titles being on the line. Alright now, just to give a brief history of the two men, let's take a look at the two fights that took place in 2017 and 2018. Canelo vs. Triple G 1, 2017. On September 16th, 2017, Canelo and Triple G faced off in the most intense showdown between two of the best fighters in the world, regardless of weight class. The fight even achieved the third highest gate in boxing history. Now, although their first fight lived up to the hype, showcasing the indestructible force of Golovkin and the boxing brilliance of Alvarez in an entertaining battle, it left many fans unsatisfied with this split draw, since it was a true 50-50 fight between two of the best boxers in the class. Where's the fun in that, right? So, of course, this led to a rematch just 1 year later that proved to be slightly more conclusive. Canelo vs. Triple G 2, 2018. The rematch between Canelo Alverez and Gennady Golovkin took place on September 15th, 2018 at T-Mobile Arena in Paradise, Nevada. It was a truly awe-inspiring fight in which Canelo won by majority decision. In fact, Canelo vs. Triple G 2 was named Fight of the Year 2018 by the Ring magazine, with a sellout crowd of 21,965. However, the bout between the two rivals wasn't without controversy, since Canelo defeated Triple G by majority decision after 12 rounds. Now, the two will meet in the ring for the third time, so the ultimate victor can claim the title of world champion. Will it be Canelo or Golovkin? Let's find out. Canelo. Fighting style. Canelo has an entire arsenal of skills that will help him in defeating Golovkin. His fighting style is a mix of combos, so he's always one step ahead of his adversary. He is also a back foot boxer, but the most important component of Canelo's fighting style is counterpunching. He uses feints and angles to open up the head and body. In fact, Canelo often uses wickedly fast counterpunches in most of his fights, and his fights against Golovkin, Miguel Cotto, and Amir Khan are prime examples of his ability to counter. So, he's able to break down and find gaps in his rival's defense with smart combos. Over the years, Canelo has learned how to pace himself, and you won't see him ever attacking recklessly because he has transformed himself into a ring tactician who relies on his discipline and skills to guide him to victory. What he lacks in height, he makes up for by luring in his rivals with head and waist movements. This may very well prove to be his ace card against Triple G in the ring. On top of that, Canelo is also a master of doubling up with his lead hand and hook for a liver shot. He expertly delivers a right uppercut to a left hook to the head, with a left hook to the body to knock the daylights out of the other guy. Strengths. Number 1. Counterpunching. Counterpunching swiftly and unpredictably is one of Canelo's biggest weapons, and he uses it liberally. The boxer uses different combos of feints and angles to open up the head and body. Number 2. Head movements. Due to his small middleweight at just 5'9", Canelo has learned to use this weakness as his strength. By moving his head extremely well, fighting low, and forcing his rivals to change levels, Canelo instantly becomes an elusive target, throwing his opponents off their game. Number 3. Defensive awareness. His superb defensive awareness separates Canelo from the typical bold Mexican boxing mold. It allows him to execute specific defensive techniques like slipping punches, bobbing, and head rolling. And then, just as opponents are busy trying to hit the target, Canelo comes back with a devastating counter. Opponents find it very hard to get a clean shot on Canelo due to his excellent defense. Number 4. Unorthodox combinations. Canelo is renowned for his powerful and effective combinations because they are non-traditional and creatively unique. From looping hooks to splitting uppercuts to overhands, Canelo attacks relentlessly to find the chink in his rival's armors. Weaknesses. Number 1. Stamina. Canelo's biggest weakness is his stamina, which is sorely lacking sometimes. He doesn't quite have the endurance and stamina when it comes to carrying on a longer match against bigger enemies. So, we've yet to see how that works against him in his match against Triple G. Number 2. Footwork. Considering that Canelo began his boxing career as a fresh-faced 15-year-old down at the super lightweight limit of 10th, it is hardly a surprise that his feet aren't as fleet as they once were, up at the 12th 7-pound mark. On some rare occasions, he has looked pretty vulnerable because he can seem flat-footed compared to some of his more nimble opponents. So his footwork is a fatal flaw that might do him in if he doesn't work on regaining agility. Triple G. Fighting style. Golovkin is a highly explosive fighter, and his style is all about constant assault and aggression. He tends to use a stiff, heavy jab by leaning slightly forward and stepping into his jab to build momentum and pack a powerful punch. Due to that, his opponents overreact to feints and move back due to his heavy, constant attack, which is exactly what Triple G wants. Triple G also uses a tight guard and classic head movement to aid his constant forward movement. Additionally, he tends to fight at relatively close range by bobbing and weaving to confuse the other guy and further aid his slipping punches. So, due to Triple G's constant movement and high punch rate, many of his opponents are intimidated, which serves the fighter's purpose, of course. Strengths. Number 1. Punch power. Triple G is literally known for his hard-hitting punches. His knockout power is insane, which is why he has one of the highest knockout percentages of the current boxing world champions. In fact, he has knocked out 90% of his opponents. He's also really good at mixing his shots, and of course, taking a hit like a beast without flinching. So Canelo will need to watch out for that in their next fight. Number 2. world-class footwork. One of the key contributors to Golovkin's knockout success is his incredibly effective footwork. The boxer can expertly weave and move in and out of range, creating good angles so his opponents don't ever see him coming. He finds his range exceptionally well and hardly ever throws a long shot. Usually, he lets loose his shots when he is well within the range of his opponent. In this manner, he is able to maximize the force of each punch he delivers. Weakness: stamina. The 40-year-old Golovkin is in his twilight days because with old age comes lower defenses, waning reflexes, and reduced agility. He simply isn't the same fighter that he was once he advanced past 35 years of age. Because of this, Triple G has lower stamina than his younger opponent, which will work against him in their fight. Prediction for Canelo vs. Triple G 3, 2022. Now, considering that Triple G is 40 and he's well past his prime, it doesn't seem plausible that he will get a nod from the judges in this fight either. How can he realistically increase his effectiveness now when he couldn't do it 5 years ago? In fact, Triple G's inability to get any love from Vegas judges against the other superstar opponent also factors in here. The fans were shocked, for a good reason, at the scorecards from their previous fights. But anyway, it's unlikely that the once fierce Triple G would find victory at this stage against his younger, more energetic opponent. Canelo is remarkably resilient with a high ring IQ. Odds are, Canelo will win the third bout and prove his worth once and for all. If you liked the video, leave us a fat thumbs up. Comments are always appreciated. We'll see you in the next video. Up until then, take care and goodbye.